Hello and welcome to BuildTober Day 6. I have reduced my render distance and simulation distance in order to help prevent some of the lag I seem to be experiencing in the recording. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but hopefully it does. Now, I've probably badgered on about the semantics of how this challenge works for enough instances, so I think we're going to skip the explanation and just go straight for it. And our theme today is darkness. I feel like that one kind of, the ghoul theme sort of encapsulated darkness very well. I could do something similar, but I'm not entirely sure. That's the problem with these themes. I'm not very creative, so a lot of the themes I came up with are sort of similar, where the ideas I gather from the themes could have been put together and become similar. But likely I will maybe change the time. It really depends on what I go for the theme. You'll just have to wait and see. Alright, now that that's over with, let me start by saying I did watch the intro, and I know that reducing the render distance did not help. Unfortunately, that just means this is going to be a consistent problem until at the very earliest, late November. Very depressing, but I think this could still be fun, for me at least. It might be a little annoying to watch, but it's good practice, and that's alright. But, to continue where we left off, did you guess what I was making? I wasn't even certain at the start, and to be honest, I didn't even think it was going to end up well. As soon as I started, I was like, oh, this is terrible. But when I finished it, I was like, you know what? This is a decent job. Before I show you the final product, let me just give you a little more information on myself. I have never been in a church. At all. Period. Not a single time in my life have I been inside a church. So this is going off of memory of some Google images I did search up, and memory of what I've seen on TV. But without further ado, ta-da! The top kind of ended up looking like a face, and I decided to keep that because I thought it was kind of neat, kind of like did the darkness thing. Now you might notice it's not actually that dark. That wasn't the original intention, but I don't think it's terrible. But the original idea behind this is I kind of wanted a place where people think of like as hope and light, but also has some kind of bad connotations occasionally. So I chose a religious house, or in this case, what I googled was chapel. So hopefully this looks somewhat like a chapel. I put a bell on top, even though I know not all chapels have bells. I wanted a bell, but I ended up going with red for the ground because I kind of wanted the crimson grass. I wanted it all to connect together with the red banners that I decided to put up. The banners are kind of there for like texture. I also felt like maybe they give some sort of religious idea, religious object. But As you can see, this one got a little out of hand. It just went beyond the borders a little bit too much. I feel like I sort of needed that to really pick up the essence of what this is supposed to be. We walk into the chapel. I kind of wanted like a really big doorway, but obviously you can't really go through the trapdoors. I could have made it so you could, but I didn't care that much. You go through the door, and I tried to put some texture into the walls and such. I also wanted some paintings. I felt like when you think of religious houses, you often think of religious paintings. None of the paintings were really good for what I wanted. And they also didn't quite fit in well. So I honestly don't even really like these ones. But I feel like they add a little bit of something. They're also like really dark with one little sheen of light, so I felt like they matched the vibe a little bit. It's just their placement is off. It would have been really nice if I could place paintings on the roof. I felt like if I could place the paintings on the roof, it would have looked really nice. It would have reminded me of that one chapel in Italy. There are some paintings up there which I felt looked nice. I kind of wanted to do them all around, and then I found out you can't put paintings beside paintings. So that was really sad. I don't know why I thought you could, because you can't do that with anything else. So I don't know why I thought I could. But there's the bell when you look up. And then, here's a book. Darkness descends, sinking us into a liberating madness. Don't let them know what the bell tolls. Keep to yourself. Stay out of the light. It does say stay out of the light. That's because this is about darkness. But if you stand anywhere, you'll notice there's light coming from this little part right here. You could also see it if you come to read the book, and then you look over. So it's not super hidden. But if you make your way down here, you'll see a bunch of glow lichen. And then you'll see a super long corridor. Previously I said that this only got out of hand a little bit, but this corridor is quite long. If I could have, I would have made it way longer, but I feel like I had to construct it a little bit just because this isn't... The area is supposed to be rather small. I'm supposed to have a specific plot. They put water right above the roof planks so that it would drip down and give that moisture feeling. And then I may have overdone it with the lichen. I wanted to sort of have that sort of glow and that sort of cave feeling, but it's a bit bright in here now, so you kind of lose some of that essence. Maybe I should have turned down my brightness a bit, but then it might be difficult to see all the detail in the video. But at the end of that long hall is this little room. I've put some signs in. They will never leave me, not when they know. No one can escape. It's been written, they will live with me in eternal darkness. Silence is the key to a heart of black. And this is the last one. The bats are an oversight. That sign makes absolutely no sense now. It makes no sense now because when I originally made this cave, because I still have entity spawns on, because I just haven't gotten around to turning that off. I am the biggest procrastinator when it comes to the smallest things. That's why the wandering trader keeps spawning and annoying me. But I still am not motivated enough to turn it off. But when I started this cave, there were a million bats. You won't be able to see it because I didn't do a time lapse of this place. Kinda wanted it to be a final little surprise. But when I started the cave, because it was so dark, there were a million bats. Then I changed everything to jungle wood, added the lichen and everything, and there were still some bats. So I wrote this sign, sort of as a joke for that. And now that I've come to show off this little area, there are no bats. I'm a bit disappointed. I almost feel like I should have spawned bats. Just awkwardly running down a corridor now. I tried to do the stained glass windows that you kind of see in churches a lot. Personally, I really like those windows. With all that being said, I have no life updates because I have no life. Anyways, I actually quite like the vibes of this, especially in the background when my face is all up like this. It's just like kind of evil and sinister. But I enjoyed this build. I think it's got a lot of atmosphere. It may not be the best, but thank you for following along. Hope to see you again.